Alright guys, back to another video, and this time we're going to do another video like we did last time. I do have this deck in actual card form built for me. I've been messing with it a little bit. If you want to hear you can hear the flicking of the cards. I've been messing with this deck for a little while. Also a little bit of theory crafting with this deck with my team, and we also have not really came up with a set list for this deck. So there are a lot of different ways that you can tweak cards to make to where you have a few of certain cards that my teammates felt like they didn't really need as much, and then I just wanted to go with certain cards that I felt like were really influential to the deck and very important. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of wiggle room with this deck, and a lot of side deck tech cards you can like flex between, and then inside more negates and less negates and yada yada. But I want to get into the card by card with you guys in order. Okay, so Pilaf and Oolong. Um, this is a very unique leader. He's also a Shinra leader, and he needs 7 Dragon Balls and drop. So obviously, play your 7 Dragon Balls. But once per turn, when your battle card attacks, the battle card gains 5,000. You get to search your deck or life for a Dragon Ball. Now, one issue this deck does have is flipping over to Oolong. Now, that's why Familial Bonds, the new support card for this deck, was specifically made for this leader, because there's no other red Shimmer leader yet. This, when you activate Familiar Bonds, you get 2 balls from your deck, so it's a +2, and you get a Monster Reborn. Now, this is very important for the deck strategy, so you kind of want to be mulligan for your Familiar Bonds and your Dragon Balls. And also, so you need obviously you need 7 Dragon Balls, and then when you wish, you flip over and you get your Familiar Bonds back for your drop area or your one of World Peace at the bottom there. Now, activate main for Oolong is the same as all the other Shenron leaders except for the last ability. So you get to draw 1 card or play a Desire with equal to your energy or less, which could be World Peace later in the game for chain attack, and then you got your your 4 Familiar Bonds. That's typically your line of play with this deck. It's pretty aggressive. I like to call this deck a low to the ground deck, where most of your battle cards and things that you do are very low to the ground, like very cheap. So, we're gonna get more detail about each card we play and why we play it. So, your last ability for Oolong, before I forget, is you get a battle card gets 15,000 power, and you could draw 3 cards. They're removing 7 Dragon Balls from your drop area. Very powerful after you use Chain Attack and Zeno. Not the turn you do it, the turn after usually is when you do it, because you're gonna make a pushback and try to kill them. And or that's most definitely what you want to try to do. But a lot of times this deck doesn't end up winning that way. It usually wins by when you catch your opponent off guard. I was testing this deck a few times. My opponent felt like they were able to tap out on their turn 3 or so, and this was a different build I was playing exactly because, like I've said, you can take different cards. Like I was playing 3 Saiyan Kaba over Denial of Hope, which is an option. So if you feel like Denial of Hope is not like your cup of tea with this deck, you can flick it to where you have 3 Saiyan Kaba. But I was trying to make this deck at least hit by striving to be the best, and anything that makes it where 2 drop or lowers cannot attack, which is very important for the strategy. As you see, most of the attackers in this deck will be 3 cost or higher. So you got your double shots and your digging deeps, burst attacks, kills pans are your main attackers. So cool. Next card by card, we're gonna go in order this time. Your Dragon Radar. So this is a one of. It helps you cycle your Dragon Balls, get a free +1 whenever you're going through. Like after you chain attack Zeno, you need to make sure you get back a side card and usually draw a card. And that's usually, and sometimes you do draw it early before you Zeno, but you may usually just hold on to it and then you'll shuffle back in. Yeah, it's pretty good. So King Piccolo. So card that not everybody knows what it does. When you place a card, if your leader is red, show a card. Choose up 3 Dragon Balls from your deck and place them in your drop area. And then shuffle your deck. And then the last ability is not relevant for this build particularly, but it is something you could try, but I don't think it's necessary. So, cool thing about this card is, not always will you want to put all 3 cards in your drop, because whenever you attack with it, the turn you play it, if you're going second, you will be able to get another ball. So this is a good turn 1 play and or a play to help yourself get that final bit of Dragon Balls in drop area to awaken. Or wish. Would you rather? Okay, we got one actual negate. Is that all you got? It does have some synergy with this deck a little bit, and it's good against U6, so I would decide one more copy of this at least, and one more Aftermarriage against certain decks where they -5 or -10 is very important. Aftermarriage is a powerful card. Like you should play it if you're playing a red leader, at least 3 copies. Aside the 4th. Against those decks that go really high, this card's better against the decks that are really quick, like U6. Intensifying Power Trunks is your primary early attacker. You want to hit your opponent early for 20k crit with your Intensified Power Trunks. Sometimes, not all the time, but usually if you go first, you don't just play this guy. You kind of you want to keep your one energy open for a double shot. But nonetheless, this is your evolved target over chain attack to save yourself an energy and keep an energy open for your opponent's turn. But a lot of times you will be trying to free play battle cards and or try to world peace your chain attack and then play your Xenon from your hand, which is really cool. I don't know why, but when I was playing this deck a lot, I do see world peace like almost every game to do that combo. So something you look out for if you try this deck out. Next, like I said before, 3 Denial Hope. This is mainly for the ability where you can use your Desire from your hand, play a burst attack or a Digging Deep for your drop, and or Pan. And yeah, so you play those guys mainly, and sometimes you get to make your super combo, which is pretty cool too. And then you pass turn with your at least 2 red open, sometimes 3, and then you'll be able to counter their next big play, and or sometimes you don't even care about what they're doing because you have such a high life count most games, unless you're playing against something super aggressive. Which is that all you got in the side deck, and will help you take care of that if you side more copies in. I already spoke about Familial Bonds, but that card is very important for the deck, so you're trying to mulligan for it. 4 of your Sparking 5 super combo. You're playing a Chiron leader. There's no Overwhelm of the deck, which is a tech you can side or main. I'm not exactly sure what you could take out for that, but you could just trim down one of the other cards. But you once you try the deck out, you'll realize what you like and what you don't like. You could make this deck a little more aggro and less control-y with the Denial Hope, which is something I have tried before and it did work for me. So it's up to you whether or not you want to play the free play and then for your hand and then leave the 2 energy open for Denial, which is very powerful against a lot of the decks, or you can just go with the standard, not standard, less standard Staying Kaba package, which I did like a lot. But it makes the deck a lot weaker to the counterplay cards and weaker to Crisis Crusher, which is one thing I was trying to avoid. But next card, very important card in my opinion, Burst Attack Sengohan. Now correct me if I'm wrong. This is what I was when I was testing and my hands and stuff like that. I was just realizing interactions this deck could have with Pilaf. So when you attack, you can choose your pending auto on turn 2 because you're going to combo with it on your opponent's attack, put it in your drop, and then play Familiar Bonds. Get cards in your drop. Then you get to say combo one of your double shots into play, which is pretty cool. Bring back the burst attack. You'll have usually a few cards in hand, but usually like 3 or so. And then you get your get your ball off the attack, and then or say if you end up having 4 cards in hand before you attack with the peel off and combo one away, just in case you want to do that to get an extra 2 draws off your burst attack. You can attack with burst if you have 4 cards in hand, and then trigger your burst attack and your peel off at the same time. Search for your Dragon Balls, and then draw 2. Well, search for 1 Dragon Ball, and then draw 2. And you also search for 2 off of Million Wands, so that's just in case your hand's just really small, which is fun to note. A lot of times you do end up being super aggressive with this deck early on because you do want to hit them with Chain Attack Xeno whenever they are at a low life, so you can have an easier chance of taking away the game. Digging Deep Vegeta is very powerful in this deck as well. Same reason why you play Burst Deck. Sometimes you just combo with it on your opponent's first attack, drop, bring it back, and he'll be at 25 when he attacks, just sort of like Pan, and attack twice. And get 2 free balls and gain free advantage. So that's fun to note. Also, with Fearless Pan, you can combo and play Double Shot, which is one of the next cards too. And then next turn you get to play Fearless Ban on top of a double shot, which will end up being a lot of damage because your leader will be 15 double strike unless you somehow get all your balls and drop on turn 2, which is very, very unlikely in this deck, specifically unlike Shinron originally does. They can awaken turn 2 or 3 a lot of times. This deck sometimes cannot, but a lot of times you are awakened on turn 3 for sure. Full Dover is what I mean. So, Pan, very important, barrier blocker, and pumps everything red and gives a double strike other than itself. Very important. One world piece, I already spoke about it, mainly for Chain Attack Trunks, but it's also a desire card that you can use like Familiar Bonds, but not as uh, good in this deck other than playing Chain Attack. And then Zeno. Zeno will wipe the board and hands back to 5 cards in hand, and then your leader will allow you to play something for free, or if you already played something for free with like the World Beast, the Chain Attack, you'll have the energy open your opponent's turn for your counter play or your counter attacks, which is pretty neat. So if you guys have any questions about the deck or how it's supposed to be played, please comment below. I'll be willing to answer them. This deck is really fun. I played against a few of my friends, but I do see that this deck will have a few weaknesses to counterplay cards. So that is something to note. Mainly Denial of Hope for Chain Attack Trunks and Zeno, but this deck is also a deck that you could tweak to where you don't play Zeno at all and play less counterplay and just be straight up aggro with Saint Kaba and Kaba's Awakening and things like that. Or you could take in maybe a fourth after image. There's a lot of things you can take in here. But nonetheless, this deck is super fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And see you guys next time.